How you doing, everyone? It's Kevin back with another video. Today we're going to be working on the lights. We're going to be putting a new wiring harness and new lights on the little utility trailer. This has been a pretty important trailer to the homestead over here. The only thing is there's not a lick of lights on it. Here's the wiring harness. It's been chewed off. The back light here, well, there isn't much of one there. Let me get you around here. There's not much of a light even there. And there's a little story behind these lights and wiring, the reason why they look like this. And I figured if I got pulled over and I told the cop the truth why the lights, this one here ain't too bad, but we're going to change it anyhow. If I told him the truth why the lights look like they do, he would probably laugh at me. This trailer was actually setting up in the field where the goats were, and the goats nibbled the wires off of the front and busted that light with their horns. I don't know what they did with the rest of it, but the goats really tore it up. I figured if I told the cop that, he would probably laugh at me. I'm not so sure I'd get out of the ticket, but I know he would laugh. So we're going to try to get away without getting a ticket. And we got the new tires on there. The old tires were dry rotted. We blew one out. If you guys watched that, that was our last video. Now we're going to do a lights and a wiring harness on the trailer. Alright, this is the light kit we're going to be putting on the trailer, and this kit comes with both lights for in the back. It comes with a couple marker lights, which I don't use. I have reflectors on mine. And then it comes with the wiring kit, which is in the back. It's right inside of here. These are not LED lights. They're not LED. I don't care what they are as long as they work. So we're going to go ahead and get to mounting these guys on. Okay, our first step is to get the old lights off. We got to get the old lights off and the wiring harness out so we can go ahead and put our new one in. Now you'll have a piece of angle iron here, and your light sets right on the back of here. On the back, you're going to have a couple bolts, and mine look to be about 10 millimeter. So we're going to get a ratchet, and we don't know if these are going to come off. Sometimes these can be a devil to get out because, you know, they get a lot of water and stuff back here, and they rust, and sometimes they'll spin in here, and you have to get vice grips, and well, you can see that one already is spinning right there. So we're going to have a hard time getting them off. So let's spin it a couple times and see what happens. Absolutely nothing. And both of them are spinning. So we're going to find a way to get these out of here, which is probably going to be tough. I could take a Sawzall with a metal blade and go down in there and just cut them out. That might be what we have to do. Cut these two bolts off. So let's go get something to cut them out with. Now there's quite a few different ways you can get these out. Now you notice them spinning on the back side. You could always take a 4-inch grinder and take a grinding wheel and grind a, just not a grinding wheel but a cut-off wheel, and cut down in there and cut down in there. If not, you can use a Sawzall. If you don't have a Sawzall, with a metal blade, you might be able to get down in there with a jigsaw with a metal blade. Or you could come back in here if you got a welder. You could weld a nut on the back of this one and weld a nut on the back of this one and use a socket on each side. But right now we're going to try the old trusty Sawzall. We're going to stick it right down in here, and we're going to see if we can get it to cut that off. One off. We're going to cut the other one off. That was pretty fast. That's how I like it, fast. Alright, now we're just going to take a hammer and knock. Oh, we won't even have to take a hammer. Here we are. Both our little studs will stick in through there, come right out. All rusted up. You know they weren't going nowhere. That's for sure. So now we'll just clean that up a little bit, and we'll be able to mount our light on there. We have to continue taking our wiring harness off. You got to watch when you're taking your harness off these little clips, it's nice to have these little clips because they go up on the bottom of the frame to hold your lights into place. So I'm going to do my best to save all of these clips that I can. Now, if you don't have the clips, I would suggest taking a small drill bit and drilling some holes along the edge of that frame and putting some zip ties in there to hold them up. Because it seems like every time you go over something, these lights will be hanging down. Next thing you know, they catch something, they rip your harness off, and then you ain't got no lights again. And I've done that about 1,000,000 times. So we just want to make sure that the lights are attached to the bottom of the trailer frame really good. Alright, being that I want to try to save them clips and I don't want to save the wiring harness, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to clip that. Might as well go down here and clip it down here. Right before that little clip. We cut it off right there, and then we should be able to slide this thing out. Maybe got a little screwdriver here. I could twist it with a screwdriver a little bit. See if we can get it out of there. I do like these little clips. I don't know if you can buy them or not, but they're nice for that wire. See, that little piece there slides up on your frame. This slides up on your frame right there. And then this part here, you snap your wire in it. So you snap your wire on first, and then you slide it up on the frame, and it kind of holds it in place pretty nice. So I'm going to go ahead and continue taking off the other lights. We got this side off. I'm going to get the other side off, and we're going to get that harness out of there. Alright, we went ahead and put a ratchet on the back of this one, and it's not moving either. So we're going to go ahead and cut this one off too. Okay, quickest way to get the lights off, right there. Pull our little bolts out. Looks like the other one fell. Here's the other one. And here's our light. We'll cut off our little clip. Now we'll start pulling the wiring harness out. Alright, I found out if you put the jack down like that and put the trailer tongue as far to the floor as you can, it gives you more room in the back to get up underneath there and get these wires out. Now my wiring harness goes up through the tongue, goes up through this part, and I already cut all the wires back there, so I'll just slide these out. We have all the wires off the back there. Now the whole harness is out. Okay, this is what is left to our wiring harness. There's not much to it. Pretty rough. Been on there for a long time. It's definitely time for new. So let's get the new out and get it mounted on. So these two little marker lights, we're not going to be using these. I noticed one of them was broke on Rick's trailer, so we're going to put these on Rick's trailer in the future. So we have a right and a left light for our trailer. We have a license plate holder, which we won't use because I put mine right on the back of the tailgate, because these here get ripped off all the time, so there's really no use in putting that on. It's garbage. And then it has instruction manual on how to install your wires, and that's pretty simple. Just go over whatever one is your trailer. I guess you got to figure out which one's English. There we go. Pretty simple setup. So let's get the harness mounted into place and get these guys set up. I guess it comes with new little clips too. That's pretty nice. It comes with the little clips, the little ones I thought you couldn't buy or you didn't buy. It comes with a bunch of them in here. So we'll use the old ones, plus we'll put the new ones on. We'll have it up in there nice and tight. That's going to be cool. Yep, lots more connectors there. So let's get it undone here. And get it put on. All right, what we got to do now is we got to get these wires to go down the tongue of this trailer. And they're pretty flimsy. So what I'm going to do is I got a piece of 12-2 wire. We've been working with this 12-2 wire. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take them both, put them right on here, and I'm going to put a little bit of tape around the end of this. And hopefully this 12-2 wire is strong enough to drag the other wires down through that pipe, because that's a long ways to go to put these little flimsy wires. Let's get them going. See, we got our wires hooked to the tip of this heavy wire, and we're just going to kind of guide it right down through there and see if we can make it all the way to the other end, come out the back side. Yep. I'll show you down here where it came out to the bottom. Okay, see, they made it all the way back to here. All we got to do is pull our tape off of here now and pull our wires down through until we get them all back through here. We want to save enough up there to hook to our vehicle though. Save enough up there to hook to our vehicle. So that's how I got the wires through that tube. Okay, I took a wire brush and cleaned this all down pretty good, and I need to extend onto my ground just a little bit further than what it was. So I'm going to go ahead and add a piece of wire to this. Hopefully we can get this done here. Okay, now that's my ground. I'll break that little bolt there off or cut it off, and we're going to extend onto that just a little bit. I want to make sure I have plenty of wire in the front for turning, so we'll go ahead and get this wire put together. We're just going to hook the two white ones together right here, and then we're going to tape all these wires together. We don't want them out there and separate. We want them all taped together. Okay, we got some stuff here to keep this wire from corroding. Now, really, I would be using a soldering gun for these, but I don't have a soldering gun here. But this should work just as well. If we have any issues, this is probably where it's going to be. Now we're going to get all these wires taped together. We'll tape all these together. That way we'll have one wire going up to hook to our truck. Okay, we got this all set up now. Black taped it. I've got the ground on here. I think that's pretty good on this end. Now we're going to start working underneath the trailer and getting all these wires attached underneath. We'll get on that right now. Okay, it's pretty important that you know which wires are going to go on what side. And you have a diagram. They give you a diagram, like so. And this little diagram tells you which wires are going to go on what side. Now we'll put it in the same angle as our trailer. And our green and brown is going to be on this side of the trailer. and our yellow and brown is going to go on the other side. Now, if you get those two mixed up, you're probably going to be screwed up when you put your turn signal on. And people are going to think you're turning right and you're really turning left. And people are going to think you're turning left and you're really turning right. So you want to make sure those go in the right place. So green and brown. Now if I'm facing the trailer this way, it's on the left side. And yellow and brown on the right side. So let's get those wires tucked in there and get them out the back. Okay, all of our wires are all wrapped up in there real nice and tight against the floor. Because if we're in the woods with this trailer, a stick comes up, it'll grab it. So you want to make sure they're nice and tight. And if you can't get them tight, get some zip ties in there and zip tie them up. Mine, I didn't need none. I got lots of braces across there. I could slide it right up inside of them. Worked out pretty good. So now we'll go ahead and get our lights put on the back. Okay, we're going to go ahead and get our light put on there. I wire brushed that bracket down real good and put a little bit of primer on it because eventually we're going to paint the trailer, but it's not going to happen right now, and I figured might as well have it clean underneath there before we put this thing together. And these are just a little 10mm socket. We'll tighten them up, or a wrench, it'll be fine. Okay, get our wires hooked up to this one, which would be no problem at all. Get them hooked up and then we'll move on to the next one. Okay, what we're doing is we're just stripping them down and we're going to twist them together and tape them. I don't have a soldering gun right now with me, but eventually we'll want to take these back off and use a soldering gun. And then a little shrink wrap would be nice. I just don't have it here. So we'll get these taped up and then we'll put a little zip tie to hold them up in there, and this side will be finished. Okay, one light finished. Nice little zip tie up here to hold that wire up tight up underneath of there so nothing catches it. That one's good to go, so let's get to the other side and get it finished. If you ever get mixed up and you don't know exactly which one goes where, the one on the driver's side will always have the license plate light on the bottom, and the one on this side over here will not. The passenger side will not. So that's a pretty easy way to find out which one goes where. Also, the wires come out each light are color coded, and they're going to match the wire that's coming back. So if you get the right one coming back, you're going to have the right light. All you got to do is look for the wires. So now all I got to do is get them mounted on the truck and see if they work. Okay, plenty of wire there. Going to hook our chains up because we're going to take this guy home and we're going to get a couple things to bring over to the shop. So let's check out these lights and see if they work. Well, looks like we got parking light. Let's try to turn to. Now, what do you think of that? Turn signal works on this side. Turn signal working on that side? Yeah. You know, it'd be much nicer if you guys could tell me if it's working or not. Let me do the 4-ways. We got 4-ways? Oh yeah. Only thing I got left is brake light. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll push the brake light, I'll push the brakes, turn the camera off, watch the video, and see if my brake lights work. Alright, the only way I'm going to be able to see that one is to watch the video. So I'm going to check out the video. Okay, in the last 2 videos, we put a new set of tires on this trailer, and now we got a new set of lights. We don't have to worry about getting pulled over now and getting a fine for not having any lights on the trailer and have to tell them that goat story, which they probably wouldn't believe me anyhow, but I'm sure the guy would have got a chuckle out of it. So I would like to tell everybody, thanks for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a thumbs up, thumbs down, or a comment if you'd like. Till next time.